Hi, everybody. My name is Lena. I am an identity transformation coach and an award-winning intercultural educator. I'm a Greek American who was born and raised in the United States, but I have lived all over the world now. Um, so I have my own business now, but before I started that, I worked at Florida State University and I was responsible for the Beyond Borders exchange program. So I'm happy to say that I know some of UWI's brightest and finest personally. Um, so just to tell you a little bit more about me and my work, as a transformation coach, I help idealists and dreamers cultivate the courage and confidence to be true to who they are, to pursue their purpose, and to make a powerful and positive impact in the world. And as an intercultural educator, my role is to empower purpose-driven student leaders with the knowledge and skills to appropriately and effectively build bridges across cultural difference. And really, sort of my mission and vision with all of my work is to transform the world from the inside out. So I have a very strong focus on self-discovery and self-awareness in my work, and in connecting with yourself, and in spending time, just being with yourself and tuning into who you are and what you feel and what you want. We're so used to being busy or being surrounded by our family or friends that a lot of us have forgotten, or maybe never really even learned, how to sit in silence and solitude with ourselves, and how to invest the time in ourselves that we are used to investing in other people in our lives, or in our responsibilities, or in our schoolwork or our jobs. Um, and it's so easy to distract ourselves from how we're feeling or what we're experiencing. And it's also more comfortable to do that, right? It's easy and comfortable, but growth doesn't happen when we're comfortable. It happens when we're pushed a little bit outside of our comfort zone. And so really leaning into avoidance or distraction can take a toll on your mental health in the long term, because just the way that our brains operate and our bodies work, we the more that we avoid or distract ourselves from these things, the more we almost disassociate from ourselves. And so, there's a lot of sort of chaos happening in the world right now, but at the same time, so many of our lives have been kind of put on hold by what's happening out there. And so this is a really unique opportunity to spend time in reflection and to spend time with yourself. And one way that you can do that is through the practice of journaling. And journaling has proven to have many, many benefits to mental health. And so it's a great way to almost practice therapy with ourselves. It is a very therapeutic process and practice. And so I wanted to give you a few tips on sort of how you can begin this journey or this process. And the first is to make time for it. So it doesn't have to be like you're spending 3 hours doing this, right? You can do 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. The idea here is to decide, like, I will allocate this amount of time to my day for this practice. And it's very easy to say, like, I don't have time for this, but we always manage to make time for the things that are important to us and for our priorities. And your well-being should absolutely be a priority of yours. And it's of the utmost importance. And right, everything that you do is an extension of how you are. So if you're not doing well, you're not going to do well at school or at your work or whatever other responsibilities you have. So you have to start with ensuring that you are good so that everything you do is good, because everything you do is an extension of how you are. The second tip is to set the time that you're going to do this. So it's usually best to have a journaling practice sometime in the morning, first thing when you get up, as a way to reflect on what you want from the day, to set intentions, or to do at the end of the day before you go to bed as a way to reflect on the day and what has happened, and what are you grateful for? Are you happy with the way the day went and how you showed up in that day or not? And so that's the second thing, to decide when you're going to make the time for journaling. And the third thing is, well, what do I write? And there are a couple of options. One, if you feel like you need to be guided in some way, you can simply journal Google prompts and you can find um, a list of ideas or questions or things to journal on. Or you can simply free write and just write whatever comes to your mind. Regardless of which you decide to do, I think it's very important that you write by hand. Don't type in your phone, don't type on your computer. Really put a pen or a pencil in your hand and physically write. It activates a different part of your brain that does help with healing, and it helps with creative self-expression, which is key to self-healing. And so it's really important that you write. And there are a couple of things that you can that I would recommend, sort of journaling practices. One is a method that has been popularized by somebody named Julia Cameron, and it's called morning pages. And basically that is where you sit and write 3 full-length pages, just following your stream of consciousness. So you start writing about something, anything, and you just follow the thought as it goes, and you don't really stop like, oh, what do I want to say, or what do I write about? You just follow the train, your train of thought, and write down everything that is coming to your mind. The second thing is something called future self journaling, which has been popularized by Dr. Nicole LePera, who is known as the holistic psychologist. I highly recommend that you follow her on Instagram. She has 2 million followers because her content is truly amazing, and it's all around self-healing and how you can become more self-aware. And future self-journaling is sort of this process that she lays out of how you can identify changes that you want to make in yourself or in your life. And there's a journaling process to help you step into that future self, and how can you embody who it is that you want to be. And so you can visit her website and you can download a little ebook that gives you sort of the outline of how to follow that journaling process. And her website is yourholisticspsychologist.com. And then I would also like to recommend something that I have created. It isn't necessarily journaling, but it is a way to pause and sit with yourself and reflect, and also identify limiting beliefs that you have. And it lays out a system of how you can overcome those. And it's an email challenge that I created over the course of 5 days. So you will receive, through a series of emails, this process that I created to help you really connect with yourself and overcome sort of the mental blocks that you have that are keeping you from doing the things that you want to do or that could bring you a more fulfilling life. And the name of that is How to Go from Limited to Liberated. And you can access that through my website, which is lenapapadopoulos.com. And I'm sure you will have my name, so you'll have the spelling of that. But yeah, I really encourage you to utilize this sort of pause that the universe has given us to use it as an opportunity to connect with yourself and to reconnect with the truth of who you are beneath who you have been taught to be. And it's something that hopefully you can continue to use in your life to create and make use of pauses outside of this global pandemic. But yeah, journaling is such a valuable and powerful way to really be present with yourself. And so I encourage you to um, incorporate this practice into your daily life. And I hope that um, it is beneficial for you. And feel free to reach out to me if you start doing it. And it is, I would love to hear about your experience. So I hope you are well, and I hope you stay safe and healthy and sane. And I'm sending you a lot of love from the United States.